the questions I was going to ask. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. So, I'm also one of the authors of the three authors of the book today. And my name is Carl Foster. I'm the author of a book called SelfMade, and I wrote many years ago. And it touches on, I suppose, young people going through autism, dyslexia, kids going through stuff. You know, the kid is struggling at school. What's causing the child to struggle? Many of you may know young people in your own family, or maybe you was that young person who was struggling at school. What's holding the child back? What's affecting their reading, their writing, their learning? You know, many of these young kids leave school and end up on the streets. They feel there's nowhere to go. I thought there was nowhere to go for me. Whatever I did in terms of school, I couldn't do it. I couldn't concentrate. I couldn't focus. I couldn't get my mind to work. We have an exam. I look to the right. I see the kids, they got their head down, they're getting work done. They're focused. I'm here struggling. I don't know what I'm doing. I can't get my mind to work the way it needs to work. You know? And back in those days, we didn't have words like dyslexia or autism. They just put you in a special class. That was it. And you felt labeled. And what is that child's outlook on life? When your starting life is like that, you know, what sort of future do you feel you're going to have? You know, I mean, I was lucky that I had people around me that would say, "Still go for it," you know, and I come from a family which have strong religious faith, strong, powerful faith, and I think maybe that faith was what helped me, you know, because it was a case of, don't go by according to appearances. So even though your current reality right now isn't looking too favorable, isn't looking like where you want to go, don't let that dictate you where you want to go. Still hold on to the dream. That's the key thing. Focus on the dream. So even though my life was going sideways as a kid and even as a teenager, I still had dreams. I still had goals. I still had things that I wanted to do. And that is the message. You have to hold on to the dream. You have to hold on to what you believe in, regardless. And with all of what you hear these days, young men getting into gangs, drugs, ending up dead at a young age, a waste of life, somebody's son, you know, I didn't take that path. And I'm born around here, I live around here, I'm born and raised. And there's plenty of opportunities to take that path, you know, lots of opportunities. But I luckily was able to stay on track and stay in the battle of keep pushing myself, keep trying, regardless of what was going on, and being able to turn it around. So, from not being able to read or write, how do you turn it around and become an author? I mean, if somebody had said to me, "You've got a vision, when you grow up, you're going to be an author. You're going to be standing in front of people with your book, but you can't read and you can't write in this moment." But self-belief, believing in yourself, having that vision, something people will laugh at when you tell them you want to do this particular thing. They'll laugh because they can't see it. If you can see it, you can have it. Ignore the naysayers. Hold on to your dream. Hold on to your vision. There's a speaker that I admire called Les Brown. And there's something I remember Les Brown, there's many words Les Brown said that. But I remember him saying, he always goes, no matter how hard it gets, no matter how tough it gets, I'm going to make it. He believed in the power of the dream, in the power of faith, and in the power of having that vision. And he also said something, I hope I get it right. he said that as well. This is what I was referring to. He said, don't let somebody else's opinion of you become your reality. Yeah? Because people see you struggling. They see the dream isn't going the way it should go. And you said, this is the thing I want to do. And they said, see, I don't think you can do it. And they made me laugh when you're trying to do it and it wasn't working the way you wanted it to work. But he said, don't let somebody's opinion of you become your reality. You believe in yourself. You hold on to your dream. And ladies and gentlemen, that's what I did. From being that little kid, struggling at school, not making the grades, having low self-esteem, I don't know, there was just that belief. Maybe my grandmother was a strong Christian lady, which used to take me to Sunday school when I was little. And maybe her strong belief, and she always used to say to me, I pray for you every day. When she passed away now, but she always used to say, I pray for you. And she used to try and get me to read through reading the Bible and stuff like that. So maybe that was the powerful belief, the faith that helped me, and my mom, of course. So, ladies and gentlemen, your faith, your belief is critical in your pursuit of progress. Yeah. So I wrote this book, and this book is called SelfMade, Finding the Goodness and Greatness Within Yourself. And I guess maybe that's been the journey of my life, because I started out not achieving greatness because I wanted as a kid. So now I suppose my pursuit was, this is what I want to do. I want to keep trying. I don't want to give up. And now I do coach and mentor with young people, and I do motivation talks, and I also put events and things like that. So that's just self-belief. Being able to overcome, being able to not let the challenges distract you. Yeah. So this book, what I've written on the back, and maybe it resonates with you. You create yourself, you destroy yourself, and you reinvent yourself. You are self-made. Yeah. So that's what it entails. It's about reinvention of self, rediscovering self, recreating self. And let me see. I'm going to give you a little taste. Right? A little teaser of what's it about. I suppose with the title, let me think. Well, what is it? Okay, so this book is about the challenges that one faces with oneself in order to achieve success in life. It's about overcoming the temptation to quit, the temptation to be sidetracked and discouraged by others, and about our inner demons which laugh at us and try to keep us stuck where we are. We may have the desire, we may have the dream, but do we have the willpower, the power and drive to win? So many big ideas today lie in the graveyard because the person who had them didn't stay on track for their implementation. They gave up side obstacles, and they listened to negative self-talk in their own minds. Their friends and relatives perhaps didn't support them. They got discouraged and forgot the vision that excited them in the first place. To achieve your goals in life, you must be persistent and never quit. You must express drive and determination and a burning desire to succeed. You must have a powerful belief that you can win. And then surround yourself with like-minded people that will keep you on track. You can also ensure your success by unlocking the secrets to your subconscious mind, which will create a great life for you and the ones you care about. Your only challenge is you. This book will inspire you to take control of yourself and change your life for the better. This book is about making yourself so that you can be everything you should be. Now, let's begin. So the message in the book, is reinvention, recreation. You create yourself, you destroy yourself, and you reinvent yourself. You are self-made. And that's not to say that you can't connect to other people. That's not to say that you do every single thing on your own. But you are what's the word I'm going to use? It's like a little compass. You're the direction. It's like you hear of somebody who's a big star, a celebrity, or a successful business person. The dream started with the one person, yeah? And then the other people joined in. Somebody said, I want to do this. And then the key person, you get rid of them, the dream's gone. So it starts with that person, then all these other people connect to that person. And they run the torch and say, this is where we're going, this is the dream, this is what we're trying to do. Yeah? So it starts with you. Your dream. Nobody can take it away from you. You've got to fight for your dream. You've got to believe in your dream. And you've got to protect it. It's yours. Okay?
That's it. You spoke, and without nothing without fault, you say that you thought that was what that. So at what point did you master your speech and master knowing your words? It's amazing, you never believe that you were that sharp.
I don't know, persistence. I think persistence. I think being prepared to fall down, being prepared to make mistakes, being prepared to fail. Don't be frightened of failure. Most successful people, most people who achieve stuff, who build stuff, they failed. But they kept trying and they kept pursuing. And I've fallen flat on my face. I've messed up. I've made mistakes, I've made errors, and that's been what has led to my growth. It's like going to the gym, and you lift weights, and when you first start, it's not too heavy for you, it's too much for you. But watch you in 6 months' time, you're doing it, you're flying, you're progressing, and that's what it's about. You've got to be prepared to make mistakes. You've got to be prepared to mess up. It's like a company that puts out their first product. It's adequate. It's not the best, but it's adequate. Then the people jump on board, and then you do, this is the new improved one. It's got the GTX, ZX, 5, whatever on it, yeah. So now, but let's just say the first product was just enough to get, the sales. And then they come in with the next and the next and the next. So you've got to be prepared that when you first pursue something, it's not going to always hit the ground. But there's something that you can learn. And it's that learning that is the value of the pursuit of that goal. It's what you learn, it's who you become, that makes it worthwhile. The journey is something to run. It's not just the end result. It's the journey of who you become. And think of all the people that you touch and uplift and inspire because you achieved that goal. It's not just you. You become something in your community. You become something in your family. Your success is their success. When people say things like, oh, that's good for you. No, you don't get it. It's good for all of us. It's good for all of us. When we all achieve, we all raise up, we all become the best that we can be, the community progresses. Everyone progresses. We all have to rise up. It's really that simple. Do the best that you can do. Be the best that you can be. Sometimes you say to somebody, give, do something. I don't got nothing to give. I can't do nothing. You can do something, you can be somebody, you can do something for somebody. My grand, when she was alive, she used to visit the sick. Right? She used to go, if somebody was sick, somebody wasn't well. Just even visiting somebody and sitting with them, holding their hand, is something. It's something for that person. Some people that have nobody and they're unwell, they're ill. Your presence, you being there, you know how much that means to that person. My grand used to do that. So we all have something in us, and we can all contribute, and we can all give in our own way. We just got to find it. It's deep, it's in here. If we just reach out, it's going to come to life. That's what we're going to do. We're all great, we're all fantastic. And all of us in here are authors. We just haven't pursued it yet. Because we all have stories. All of you have amazing stories. And and you're still on your journey now. And then I could learn from something you could learn from me. We could all learn something from each other. We're all amazing people.
Yeah.
That's what it's about. Believing in yourself, being the best that you can be. Yeah.
I'm so good at
She didn't, you know, and she used to take me to drama class and she's theatre back in the day. So she used to take me there, and she just, I think what I loved about my family is they didn't give up on me. And my mum treated me the same as the other kids. Even though my siblings were doing better than me, my mum treated me the same as the other kids. Come on, do this, get this done, right? That kid didn't treat me no different. She never hold back. I want it done. It's all good. There's the shot, then this guy and get that. So I think from my parents believing in me, that made me sort of think, well, I can do it. Keep trying.
Can I just say, I think that's really important. I think I'm an educator, I work with young people, and I think from that perspective, you mentioned earlier that there was no labels. You know, there was no dyslexia or learning difficulty. It was happening, but we were not labeling. We should have the language for it. And I truly believe that you being treated the same way by your parents and other family members really would have assisted your growth. Because now when they start labeling young people and children, they almost play up to that fear, that label. They lean into it,
That's right.
as opposed to just getting on with life and trying to find their own path and their way through.
I think that's a key point. There was no label, so I just looked at that. It's me.
Yes.
I've got to try and figure it out. I've got to try and see this. I don't feel like my mind is working where it's supposed to be working in terms of trying to learn this thing, but I've got to somehow get through.
Yes.
I've got to figure it out. Whereas I think if there was a label, I could just come from that. That's where I'm diagnosed with something. So,
Absolutely.
you know,
Absolutely.
I wasn't diagnosed with that. So there was no label. So I actually saw it as me. I need to figure it out. I need to get this done. I've got to somehow move forward. And that's it. No excuses. Come on, let's get this sorted, you know. And it wasn't easy, but it was a case of persistent. Never give up, never give up, never give up. Just keep going until it's completed. You know, that's what it's about. So I touched on the self-made book, but I also took part in another book not too long ago called Secret Successful Man. And sometimes that's what it's like. When you achieve one goal or produce one thing, opportunities come in other places as well. Somebody asked me to collaborate on this. But I also wanted to read a poem called Building Bigger and Better. And this is for somebody or people who have maybe gone through struggle, maybe lost it all, maybe you're starting over again. And you're sort of thinking, is it the end for me? Can I progress? Can I still move forward? Can I still get ahead? So I wrote this poem. This actually was a friend of mine who had lost her business. And it inspired me to write it. So anyway, it goes like this. I know it's never easy letting go of something you are part and soul into, but you are unlimited. You can and will dream bigger dreams. Life is change, evolution, growth and expansion. You will build and work to make it bigger, better and stronger than you did before. And you will see just how great you really are. Yes, you will make it, and you have the experience and knowledge to back it. You will emerge with an inner power that is bigger, better and stronger than you know. This isn't the end for you, but the beginning of your dreams come true. The power is in you. Thank you. Presentation by books. Any questions?
Hi, I'm Pam. So I follow TikTok. that's brought me here today. What I wanted to ask was, can you say more about the opportunities that have come your way? You hinted at the anthology, but what other opportunities have come your way as a result of becoming a published author?
Yeah, it's just like, I can remember, if I think more at the beginning, I suppose, there I was just doing my regular job, just me, and just focusing on being the dad, and trying to do the best I can for my daughter and so on. And then the idea came to write a book. First I was introduced to personal development philosophy. I learned about the law of attraction, and then that got me onto that. And then just by chance, at work, somebody sent me on a writing course to improve my grammar. So it went that great.
Yeah.
And then while at home, I started this hobby of writing. And I never did like writing at all, because I wasn't really good at it. So to suddenly be using my time to do that by choice was a very strange thing for me personally.
Yeah.
But then because of all the philosophy stuff I was writing, it was all coming out kind of poetic and really kind of strange. So I thought, oh, this is a bit, maybe I've got something like that kid that couldn't read or write. No. So it was an identity battle as well. It's like that, no. But I stayed with it. I had to complete a course, so I stayed with it. I almost left the course because my grandmother passed away. So I left. And then a colleague of mine said, no, you've got to come back on the course. Appreciate the to that colleague because she didn't get too good about me, but she was touched that I left and so forth, and sat down and advised me, no, you should stay and complete the writing course. So I did. And then out of that was the birth of SelfMade. I started writing the first chapter, The Power of Positive Thinking. And that's what I started. And ironically, it was in the month of May. And that's my grand's birthday is in May 6th. Yeah. And the book the birth of the book was in May. The book got published May 19th, 2012. So everything is May. And my grandmother's name is May. I don't know what it is. His grand passed away in 2009, October 2009. And then the birth of the SelfMade book, the writing process, was May 2010, is when I started to write it all together. And then that went on for a long time, it felt like a long time. Finally got to 2012, and signed with a publisher, and then by May 19th, it was I remember the publisher saying to me, there's a man in the van trying to get to you, he's got 10 copies of the book, and he's got the samples, right? I was like, wow, what I say, if you ever become authors, it's the most exciting thing to know that your book, it's your journey, it's somebody driving in this van with your book, and you're going to open it. And I had the vision of handing my mum a copy of the book, and that vision came true, and it was natural to say, Mum, it's your copy. And to write it brings tears to my eyes, but it chokes, but that's what it's about. It's deep stuff. Yeah. What I can say is you've got to pursue your dreams no matter how tough and how hard. Any more questions?
When people are setting goals, do you think that they should focus on dreams which they hope to pursue, or looking at things they
go for what you want to pursue. Don't go for, if I had went for what I wouldn't really. I would just say I can't do it. I don't know, but I wouldn't even be up here speaking with you. I would say that I can't speak. Because anybody who knows me would know I was the most shyest, quiet person ever. Very shy, very don't like to be around a lot of people. Very awkward socially. Talk to anybody in my family, talk to my friends. They'll tell you I'm the most shyest person. And even when I wrote my book, I didn't want to present it. I was talking to a work colleague and I said, can somebody do the stage stuff for me? Can I get someone to just come on stage and say, this is his book? And he said, no. You can't do that. You got to tell your book. It's your story. It's your journey, right? You got to do it. And I remember I was on a radio show one time, and there was a rapper on there from the States, and he gave me some advice while I was on the show. He said, you've got to be your biggest fan. You've got to be your biggest fan. Right? No matter what anybody says, when they say, I don't think you do that, you have to be your biggest fan. You have to believe in yourself, regardless of what they say, you know, and run with the torch. And then eventually people will believe you and follow you and understand the message you're trying to get. So go for what you want to go for. Don't go for what you can do. The mind is a learning computer. You will learn how to do it. I couldn't speak on stage before. I was shy. I didn't want to do it. I wanted to hire someone to do it for me. And they would say, this is Carl Foster's book. I'm reading it on his behalf. He's on holiday at the moment. So he couldn't make it, so, right? But no, I was able to learn. And you will learn too. So whatever you want to do, you will learn. It will be hard at first. You will have embarrassing moments at first, which I did. You will mess up at first, which I did. You will go through the journey. And that will make you stronger. So you're able to handle it when things go the way you should. So go on the journey. Go for what it is you want. That is your mission. You will learn. And that is why God made it that way. You can learn. You know, we can even change how we look. We can get slimmer, we can get bigger, we can get smaller. You know, this body is like, this whole being is like a plastic. We can mold and make how we want to make it. We're not stuck. Let's get that out of our head. That this is you. No. It's where you are. And you can change it and mold it. You know, you can do it as you choose. You are self-made. Yeah. So, in the end,
I just want to say, so I've known you for a few years, and I commend you all that you do, work for community and going into schools.
Thank
Especially the boys to see school children, and you do it with motivation and encouragement.
thank you. I appreciate that. That's what somebody else said when they were asking me about opportunities that the book brought. And I think that probably the best opportunity is community work. Because before the book, I was a person who said, there should be some more positive people out in the community. You know, but I wasn't stepping up. I wasn't man enough. I wasn't guy enough. They were doing this. I wasn't doing nothing. I was going to work, coming home, spending time with my family, and trying to find some excitement. Where we're going to go, guys. You know, that was it. I was not involved in the community at all. And then when SelfMade came along, then people reached out to me and said, well, you know, your book is about positive thinking. You know, we'd like you to do this, we'd like you to go to certain places. I went to a youth centre one time where there was kids that were very aggressive kids, violent kids, and I was there doing the presentation. Like I said, there was one guy there who was kind of there to be the security, to like reel them in because they would lose themselves a little bit. But I had those tough kids reading my poems. As tough as they were reading poems and kind of stabilizing them. And the other thing I regret is I think we should have done more consistent work. Whereas that was kind of like a one-off special. For them it was like, oh, I've got all for here to do a presentation today. But really it would have been nice to have done some long-term work with them. I would have been happy to do that and go there consistently. Probably need to do this for maybe years or a few months at least to get an effect, you know. But it got me to do that, and then now I consistently do culture mentoring young people. You know, there was one kid that some of the other mentors didn't want to coach because he was just really introvert. And I sat down with him, and he's able to do his IT course. And the next goal was to get a job. It was really tough on getting a job because filling the application form. He wouldn't press the send button. I was like, oh, press it. He wouldn't press the send button. So we fill in, put in the name, details, the CV. I'm like, can't send it. I said, you're not allowed to commit to it. If they offer you a job, you have to take it. You couldn't send it. And then I even sat with my colleagues, gather authors, gather coaches, and I said, oh, he's got this key in his And didn't see him for a while. Brother came into the session. I said, he's got a job. He started a job in 2 months. He did it off his own back. So it worked.
Yeah.
So that's what it's about. It's just, you know, they sort of just need that, you know, encouragement, a little bit of mentoring, and so forth. And I really enjoyed it. I even said to my brother, I said, what do I get to do with it? But it's something you see the young person struggling, you see them do that turning point, and you're part of the journey, you know, which is good. So, that's basically.
That's what Seka, and also I think the men need your assistance with the encouragement, because now suicide is on the increase, and there's a lot of things they're going through.
Yeah.
So it's having like some bad people, everybody getting together.
We need to do that's something
Yeah.
that last pursue a bit more. So it's just looking at more ways to connect to people and spread the message and, you know, get that positive message out. So
Great. When you were coming up, who mentored you, and how did you overcome the noise that were out there amongst your peers?
You mean like when I was still young?
Yes.
It was difficult, really. I mean, there wasn't really no one specific. Because I remember leaving, I was going home in high school, left home in high school, and went to YTS, youth training scheme, just me really doing that on my own, not any other young people really around me. I mean, there was young people in the meet-up place that we had, and they kind of were just wild and did their own thing. Yeah. But it was really like a solo journey in that moment after leaving school, trying to navigate what should I tackle next and what dreams I had as a 16-year-old, I suppose, at that time. So going to youth training scheme, then going to college. I didn't, you know, with all of what I hear with the young people getting into gangs and drugs, I just totally didn't get into none of that. And it was right on my doorstep, right around me, and I just was like, school, YTS, college, work, that's it, you know, and then write book, and you're right, you know.
That's certainly something you will get drawn in by the peers.
Yeah. So even more in the area that I live, on the street that I walk, and so on, all of that's going on, I just didn't get entangled in it. Maybe the shyness and the struggle with being social meant that I just came straight, you know. Maybe if I was more sociable, I'd probably chat to everybody that I see. Like I see some people, they chat to everybody that they come to contact, they walk down the street, they're all in. But it wasn't like that for me. I just got on college boots or going on the bus or going there, and I get back home. And then I had my specific friends that I associated with, and they were kind of doing the same thing as well. So when I got to my 20s, my friends were like, yes, what you guys do, you go to college, you do this. That my group of peers, that's where they're at. So it's who you associate with. If you want to win, you've got to associate with people who are building, who are progressing, who are going somewhere.
Yes.
If you're hanging out with people who are going sideways, they're going to drag you down. It's as simple as that, you know? So associate with people that are winners, progressing, building something.
I've got two questions. First, I went to look at publishing for free. So yeah, how would you, like, when you're looking at publishers, would you first one? And second, like, what's responsible for so it's changed their lives?
What's the response?
Yeah.
Well, definitely life change and definitely motivate people, inspire people, and people tend to read it over and over. And it's that type of book where you could read it over, because it's more about planting seeds into the mind. It's more about mental command, mental instructions, and to keep your mind in that space, in that focus space of positive thinking and production. Because what you're thinking and feeling inside, your external, what you build is a product of that. So if you're in a productive mental state, then you're going to produce. If you're in a negative mental state, you know what's about. It's not going to go the right way. So what's inside is very powerful. It creates your world. So I would say it's difficult to find the correct self-publishing. You kind of have to feel your way. You know, like with this one, I had 2 publishers for this one. And the first one, they were bankrupt. So it didn't work out. I tried. You know, they got it far. They got it very far. I mean, it was practically done. But they didn't get over the finish line in terms of publication. And I had to connect with another publisher, and then they carried over the finish line and got it published. So, but I would say give it your best. Just, you know, try, see if they're any good, and get it published, get it done. Yeah.
Well, then publishing was a bit like difficult.
Or you can even try self-publishing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so there's 2 ways you can go. I think with self-publishing you've got more control, but you have to know a little bit more of how you're going to do it, you know, in terms of the grammar, the design of the book, the layout, some of that. The publishers do all of that for you. Yeah. If you're going to self-publish, you've got to be able to, if you've got the ability to do all of that yourself, and then you just need a publishing company to publish it, that could be a way to explore. Yeah, so there's 2 options. Okay, any last questions?
What next?
What next?
That I follow on and I wanted to start putting it out again.
Oh yeah. Well, I want to do more of the event stuff, and I would like to expand on my events.
Okay.
Well, this is really just a seed,
Yeah.
and I'm looking at ways to expand on this, to making it bigger, and exploring other ideas. And so, yeah, this is where I'm at the moment. And what I like about this event, Speak to Author, it gives me a chance to support other authors, not just myself, and to collaborate with other people as well, and to be part of their journey as well, part of their dream as well. It's not just about me. It's about them. The man, yeah, we have the second one. This is the 4th one. The second one we did was November 20. Was 24. And we you had that one there, and we had men, mostly men. We had one lady.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the only one you did. Yeah. That's all right. That one is it's on YouTube and it's on Facebook.
Oh,
yeah, and I reposted some extracts from it this morning as well, so you see it on my Facebook page. And we had David Williams, and we had Rick Tucker, I think his surname is. Yeah. So it was us 3 guys and just one lady. So she had to put up with all of that. And this one there was supposed to be another guy, but that didn't materialize. So I thought, all right, we'll soldier ahead with 2 lady authors and myself, and we're trying to put on a good show for you guys. Yeah.
That's fine. You talked about the women in your life, like your grandmother. What has the role that the men played in your life? I don't know if you got a dad or what.
Okay, so as one of my sisters said, biological. So I suppose with my biological dad, that relationship was strained, and I didn't get to really grow up with him and so forth. But pure positive vibes there. I don't have no hard feeling. You know, things life happens. But with my stepdad, he was like my dad. He's my dad. You know, he was there, and I think my dad's presence. I won't say stepdad, I say my dad. My dad's presence being there, and I think that could have been the guide that helped me to get through those rough times as a young person, because he had his own business. And I used to see him in the mornings, just I used to drive and deal with him, and I see him open up the gate of his business and sell his things. And he was fixing cars, or repairing cars and stuff like that, at the garage and all that. And I'd be sitting there admiring him, watching him doing his thing. And you know, and he did well with it. He drove nice cars, his Jaguars and his BMW, and stuff like that. And that's his business, you know. So he made an impression on me, and I was looking and thinking, you know, and he was doing this at a time when there was racism and prejudice, and he's a gentleman from Jamaica, the Caribbean and stuff like that, and doing really well for himself in the UK in like the 80s. So forth, at times when things was really rough and not many people was doing that. He was doing it, he was like a pioneer. You know, you should definitely be all that. So that I think was the inspiration. I was around. I can say, I can give for facts. I was around a lot of good people. You know, and when I saw people were going the wrong way, I just kept moving miles away. They were not to do it. So that's what I'm saying. Okay. Thank you. Live halfway through. What can I say? We've got Dean Watson, and her book is called Saved, Sanctified.